All right, let's see what we got. Jelani was good. You don't be wasting no time. They'll be like, I'm here first. I'm here first. What? All right, let me get this together. Let's get it together. Oh, I think I can. All right. Okay, time is working. Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Okay, got two. I think two more should be good. That should do it. Okay. All right, one more should do it. One more. All right, so we should be good. When y'all come on, please make sure that y'all like the video so that further notifications can go out to let people know that we are live. And yeah, that should do it. All right, we should be good. And I've been meaning to put a post up on my timeline all morning and forgot. So I ain't do that yet. I need to do that real quick as well. Yeesh, 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 yeesh. Oh, that's an oldie but goodie. Let me put that up. Yeah, I'll be going in the crate sometimes. The quote crate. This one is hard. Yeah, hit him with the wink too. Hit him with the wink. All right, what else was I about to do? I'm about to do one more thing. What the hell was I about to do just now? Damn. All right, I remember. You'll never find. I throw my little shit in there real quick too, while we at it. About to do something. All right, let me focus. Okay. Got it. All right, so we're good with that, and that. Put that up. This I know. But I also wanted to save that one though. Nah, no, I intentionally did not put that one up. I want to save that one. Just for the record. That's why I didn't put it up yet. And cause I'm like that. Like it has to feel right before I post it. So my OCD should be on a whole nother level sometimes. So all right, so I got that up. Ooh, and this is hard. We got 14 people on and 14 likes. Ooh, that's hard. Oh shit. That's hard right there. Yeah, I've been holding on to that one. I'm leaving that one in the chamber. Cause that's a hard one. Like everything the stars got to line up for that one. Stars and all that got to line up. I'm not sure if I'm getting a glare or not. Put that there just in case it's a little bit. Seems like it's a little glare, but it's doable. All right, let me come and see who's in here with us. Jelani, first on deck. J. Carly, of course, in the building. Sign, what's up? Melanie, what's happening? Patrick, what's good? JT, what up? Adele, what up? Torre, what up? Anthony, what's going on? Anthony, come on, talking about Trump right away. All right, I'm gonna come back to that. Let me see who else is on here. All right, that's it for now. At least those who made their presence known. Everyone else, welcome. So before I even start going anywhere with anything, let me just get the topic out the way. How early is too early to reopen the economy? That is the topic for today. How early is too early to reopen the economy? So your feed on that for a second. What else was I about to do? Is the timer set? The timer I think I heard go off, so that should be set. Even though the EU not really doing that much right now. Needs to relax. Adele, I don't know about that. I think Jelani got you beat today. It don't count if you on post. So, Anthony said Trump lost New York for presidential election. Is being said by opening now to spend stimulus, people will get infected. It's being strategically certain neighborhoods are affected more than others. He also says when chemical companies want to move in a neighborhood, certain people from a certain area are never in town hall meetings to say, no, the company probably had spills before and had to move. Okay, interesting. Everybody was trying to figure out who I was talking to. Everybody know I'm talking to you. All right, so let me get into the reactions to the topic. So Hassan said we need to wait until at least June. Anthony said now is too early. Adele said the real question is how can we prevent this from happening again? Anthony, Trump is mad because New York didn't vote for him. Jay Carly, places affected more than others are not doing what they are supposed to be doing. End of story. Interesting point. It is even deeper than that, and I'm going to go into it in a second. As far as because I mean I have no choice but to really keep abreast of information that comes, relating this pandemic and all of the after effect of it, because it's everywhere. It's all over the internet. So if it's on social media, I'm going to see it. That's why I'll be able to even have a dialogue about these things. But let me finish reading the comments. Melanie said, it's too early when they are only testing 150,000 per week instead of 5 times that. Ooh. Come on, Melanie. Anthony said, drug dealers are compliant in Baltimore. All right. So there was something that just triggered a thought in my head just now that somebody said about, Jay Carly said, places affected more than others are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. End of story. Now, I would like to elaborate on that, because throughout the pandemic, and more so after everyone was informed about the severity of it, the virus itself, for one, targets people that have pre-existing health conditions. Off the rip, that's an issue. You are more at risk if you have an existing health condition, period. This is number one. They are collecting data based on what's coming through the hospitals and into the medical system. That's how they're able to get information, right? This is how they came to realize the people that were either in ICU, on a ventilator, or died. They're trying to see what they had in common versus other people. The first thing was the whole conversation at first was, oh, this is killing off old people. Now, yes, a substantial number of people that passed away were older folks, yes. But it just so happened that older folks have more than likely some type of existing health condition, right? The older that you get, the more likely you are to have some type of pre-existing condition that's going on with you, right? So the first assumption was, oh, it's old people. That was ruled out because everybody started catching it and people started dying at all ages. People was in ICU at all ages. Old, medium, young, all of that, right? So they're like, nope, it ain't that. Can't just be that. It's not just old folks. Then it was, after old folk, people that are asthmatic. They got some type of respiratory issue. If you got asthma or you have some type of pre-existing bronchial issue, you more at risk. Now, this is true. You are more at risk. Okay, cool. So now it's like, all right, well, people that got asthma and shit like that, they're going to be, more at risk for this shit. Come to find out, it's not just that. It's not just people with pre-existing respiratory issues. They come to find out, if you got high blood pressure, you more at risk. Right? Come to find out, you got diabetes, you more at risk. You're following me? So I just named 2 pre-existing conditions that are rampant in certain demographics, neighborhoods, and groups of people. People who are less economically in a better position to have better food and better health care are automatically going to be more at risk because they're not eating as good, as healthy as other folks are, and they're not taking care of themselves the way that they should be. So high blood pressure is rampant in lower income neighborhoods. So is diabetes. So now we're talking about what demographics or what groups are more at risk for the virus to run rampant and to be devastating, because now you're dealing with what the virus is targeting. It's targeting anybody that's weak. Whatever your weakness is. You got high blood pressure. The virus is fucking with you 10 times more than it would a healthy person. You got diabetes. The virus is fucking with you 10 to 20 times more than it would somebody normal that don't have it, right? So you got to think about all of these things, put 2 and 2 together. The virus don't give a shit about who got it. It's not looking at you, oh, well, you got high blood pressure, but I like you, so I'm not going to fuck with you. Virus is like, you got high blood pressure, I got you. You got diabetes, I got you. You got asthma, I got you. You healthy, I'm going to try to find something in you. So now people that are healthy, you might have had a heart condition that you didn't even know about. Boom, heart attack. The virus fucked with you. It found your weakness. So now you got somebody that's completely healthy with no history or nothing, die from cardiac arrest. He didn't have high blood pressure. He didn't have diabetes. But he had some type of heart issue that nobody knew about, and the virus got him, and he had a heart attack. You see what I'm saying? So it goes way deeper than just political and all of this other shit that people try to make it into, in my opinion. It has more to do with the virus is not discriminating against, oh, well, I think I'm gonna fuck with black people more than everybody. No, it's fucking with whoever is in a vulnerable position health-wise, because that's what viruses do. If your immune system is more broken down, it's more likely to fuck with you, period. So it's like, all right, now you got something that is being spread everywhere. So where is it being affected the most? It's going to be affected, obviously, the most where the most health issues exist. The most pre-existing health issues exist. Where's that at? Happens to be, you guessed it, lower income neighborhoods, right? Poor folk. right? I'm just saying, like when you put the pieces together, it begins to make more sense instead of looking at things from like a political perspective or like, oh, it was all Trump. It's not all Trump. It's not all the government. It's not all anybody. It has a lot to do with a lot of different factors. But the bottom line is that one, it's real. So you at first you had people saying, oh, they made that up. Oh, nah, that's 5G fucking with people, and they just lying and saying it's COVID. No, COVID is some real shit that they don't got a lot of information about. They don't even know. They don't even know everything it does yet. They're still collecting information about what it does in the body. Now they're saying it could cause brain damage if you have it. It'll fuck with your brain long term. Like it's a lot. It's a lot because it's not like that's a new thing where some type of virus or something comes along and then they don't know that much about it at first. They don't know that much about anything at first. They find out about it after the fact, but you just usually have, or I should say, don't have it go to the pandemic level where that shit just spreads everywhere. And it's like they're unprepared to deal with it. That's what happened this time. That's what happened. Nobody was prepared. Even people that were prepared weren't prepared. In countries where they were prepared, they still wasn't prepared. So the numbers were lower, but they still don't have enough information about everything to be able to say, oh, it's this and we're going to do that about it. They don't have it. It's just like right now with all the testing. It's like, well, why can't y'all test everybody? They don't have the resources or the capability at this point to test everybody. Out of 320 something million Americans, only 3 million have been tested. 3 million. So less than 10% of the population in the country has been tested for this shit. Yet you see how it spreads. It's a lot of shit to think about, man. A lot. A lot of shit, man. Oh, excuse me. Damn, that shit went down the wrong pipe. I agree with that. I agree. Let me come back. Adele said, I went to a convenience store today. Literally, the woman was reusing the gloves, but they have a plastic cover, I guess, to block sneezes. And she had no mask on. People are ridiculous with the gloves and the mask. I just saw a lady just now, stepped out of her car. She put the same gloves on that she just had on before she went in the car. Like she took the gloves off, got in the car, then she stepped back out and took the same gloves she just took off and put them back on. And she put the gloves on, and then she grabs the mask with the gloves and puts the mask on her face with the gloves on. Like you need tutorials to teach people how to use masks and gloves. You don't touch the mask with the gloves on. Jesus. People using masks and gloves fucking spreading the shit even faster the way that they doing it. I want to know who we're supposed to trust to say that it's safe to reopen and what outlet are we supposed to listen to? Listen, I'm gonna listen to common sense. That's what I'm gonna listen to. I'm gonna listen to my logic. My logic ain't never failed me. What about medical entities classifying deaths as being COVID related and the deaths are not COVID related? They're doing that too. Some locations and states inflating stats for more funding. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know that that's going to happen. And what is very unnerving about that is that they're grouping all of these different deaths to COVID, but then you got real deaths from COVID. You got actual situations where it's really from COVID. So it's like, that's fucked up. Because they can't, it's like they're not willing, I don't think, to go the extra mile to be more honest about it, because one, they're getting paid if it is COVID. So even if it wasn't COVID, they'll say that it's COVID, or could say that it's COVID. Who are you? You don't know what they're saying. We don't know what they're saying. Who knows? We don't know what the numbers are for how many people might have died from something else, but they classified under COVID. And because of that, they get more funding from it, yada, 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 et cetera, which is fucked up. But this is what goes on. This shit is crazy. Anthony said, I think you can lose sensitivities with diabetes. People are being diagnosed with the virus who have other health problems. Yeah, you have some of that going on. You also have situations where they're not even testing people that come in with the symptoms. They sending them back home. People like went 2 and 3 times. They ain't get a test yet. So it's like, shit is crazy. Yeah, very, very true. Very true. Jay Carly said, how we ever know the truth? Because the actual virus is real no matter how or where it came from. That's a fact. That's a fact. We'll never know until years from now. And then still won't know. We just have more information. Adele said, elderly woman dropped dead in the parking lot at my friend's job. She works for a major hospital, freestanding ER. And they stated that she had it. It's crazy. Jay Carly said, then I saw something that said the virus that causes COVID, and I was confused. Like the HIV virus can cause AIDS. Like, I don't get it. Yeah, COVID-19 is the virus that causes what somebody will get sick from, or that it turns into. I had it in my head. I'm sorry. I think it's COVID-19 is the actual virus itself. And then when the virus attacks you, it becomes coronavirus. I forgot what the shit is, but there's a virus that causes something else. I forgot if it's coronavirus causes COVID or COVID causes coronavirus, whatever the fuck. But whatever it is, it starts with the underlying thing that causes it. Yes, it does. Right. What other condition did she have? Indeed. You could get the virus and never get COVID. No, I don't think that's it. Nope. Yeah, it's similar to that. It's similar to that, what you're describing, Jay Carly. Right. Because, all right, so it's like somebody that ends up with coronavirus and then they get pneumonia. Now, the pneumonia will kill you. But the virus is what caused the condition in your lungs for you to get pneumonia in the first place, because of what the virus does. It replicates itself in the lungs. And as it replicates itself in the lungs, it's breaking down your lung tissue. That's the perfect environment for pneumonia, because now mucus builds up and accumulates in your lungs. And if you don't have antibodies to fight the virus, the mucus can overwhelm the lungs. And that's what the pneumonia associated with COVID does. That's why they into what the fuck is the word? They put somebody on the ventilator because of that, to give your lungs relief and like to give your lungs time. So the ventilator will breathe for you so that your lungs can relax and then the tissue can be repaired. And at the same time, they're giving you whatever antibiotics to try to get the mucus out of the lungs. So it's a combination of all this shit going on. And if they don't do that, you more than likely are gonna just suffocate because the shit feels like you drowning when you get that much mucus in your lungs. So that's why the percentage is so high. You know, somebody go on the ventilator, 80% of them are gonna die. 8 out of 10 people that go on the ventilator are not gonna recover from that shit, which is crazy and scary. And that was the whole issue with what this particular virus does. It targets the lungs. And if that shit gets into the lungs, if you're not someone that's capable of either producing the antibodies to fight it, or it got too far gone and you didn't catch it in time, you in trouble. And then that's what, you know, the whole issue with the ventilator shit turns into. Anybody on a ventilator is somebody that basically probably got the pneumonia, or they have an issue with their lungs and they can't fight the way that, you know, somebody who was healthier could fight. So they gotta put them on a ventilator. Shit it's crazy, man. Melody said putting the gloves back on after using them and then touching other things is called breaking sterile technique. Totally negates anything you just did to protect yourself. Exactly. Man. I think when I'm drinking something, it go down the wrong pipe. That's another thing. Yeah. What about all the people that could have died from COVID, but they were never tested? We won't know. Nope. 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 Because you could have had somebody that died from COVID, and because they didn't get tested, they said that they died from whatever the shit caused. They might have had a heart attack, or they might have had, you know, some other issue that took them out. Pneumonia, some shit. Could have been anything. If they ain't actually test them for it, you won't know. And then when did they start testing people? Because people was already, that people die every day. So if this shit been around since last year, October, November, you have millions of people that have been traveling back and forth throughout all countries, definitely in and out of the U.S. Just like when I was mentioning the New Year's celebration, you had mad big celebrations where millions of people gathered all in one place. You had that. You had Mardi Gras. Like, you don't think if this shit was around at that time that it wasn't already spreading? It was. How you think it just moved everywhere? Like, everywhere got it. There's nowhere where it hasn't been, like, wherever it is people, this shit is. There's people in every country. It's in every country. Even if it's at a small scale, it's there. So what is that telling you about this shit? As far as if this shit is able to spread into every country, why would you not assume everybody probably fucking had this shit? This is my first assumption. My first assumption is I think that everybody had it. like the stuff that we're doing is to prevent it from spreading. Meaning, if you got it, you don't spread it to somebody else who either didn't get it yet, or maybe they did have it already and then they get it again. This is my thought process. You can't tell me that if this shit started out in late of last year and we waited until March before we did anything about it, that it wasn't already spreading through the population, especially dense populations, when the shit is literally in every country. If this shit spread to every country, how could it not spread within the country already? Let's just use common sense. You telling me that this shit spread because people took flights in and out of other countries and then they landed, and when they got there, the shit spread from there, right? So on one flight, how many people had it on the flight? How many people had it on a flight that went into your country? How many people had it? It's a scary thought, but think about it. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna assume everybody had it, unless you just be in a house all the time. If you've gone anywhere since from October, November of last year up until March of this year, if you've been out the house, you've gone to a restaurant or to a bar or to a game, right? School, you go to the store. Have you been anywhere? You been somewhere? I think you had it. This is just my opinion. I believe that you fucking had the shit. And one of two things happened. You either got the symptoms and, God forbid, you weren't able to do anything about it and you went to the hospital or whatever the case may be, and maybe you got real sick from it. I think that some people didn't get sick from it at all as far as symptoms. Not to say that they didn't have it. I think everybody had it. This is just my opinion. I don't think it's possible for everybody not to have had it with the way that it spreads. It's not possible. We live in first of all, I live in New York City. I walk out the house and it's fucking 10,000 people. This is my opinion, of course, but I'm just like, let's be logical. And I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, so from October until March, how many times did I feel cold symptoms? And this is me just in my head, I'm just going back. I'm like, maybe like once or twice. Because I remember, as a matter of fact, I forgot what month it was. It might have been around November, around Thanksgiving. I think I had a cold. And usually my cold lasts like one full day, 2 at the most. Because I fight shit immediately until the symptoms go away and then I'm good. So I remember that. That was like around Thanksgiving of last year. And as a matter of fact, I was talking about it because I had came on to do the live stream that next day. So anyway, so I'm thinking back, I'm like, damn. Just me personally, maybe once, maybe twice. Where I had, matter of fact, and then later I had allergy symptoms. That was a couple of weeks ago. So I'm just recalling in my mind, I'm like, And this is me, and mind you, I already do social distancing. Like, that's not new for me. So I'm like, so if social distancing is the way to prevent yourself really from getting it from somebody, I can see me not getting it because I do social distance. But I'm like, but still though, nah, let me not say that, because we did go to restaurants. We did go to sit down and eat at restaurants and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We were around people. You know what I mean? I don't be on the subway like that, so the likelihood of it is less, but still, I've been around people from October, November last year until March. I've been around people. We've gone out plenty of times to sit down and eat. So I'm just gonna assume everybody had it. Everybody was exposed to it. What it did to you is gonna be different. And we're seeing the severity of what it can do to people from all of the numbers that you've seen reported. What else can you assume? You can't assume, oh, nah, I didn't have it. You don't know that you didn't have it. It's people that had it that didn't get tested for it, but they had the symptoms and they had to fight their way through. Even celebrities. Watch, and you'll start hearing more and more about people that be like, yeah, I think that me and my family had it, but we overcame. We got through it. It's a bunch of people that's reporting that now. What Shahara told me today, Jazzy Jeff had it. You didn't know he had it. Babyface had it. Like, these are celebrities. Babyface had it and came on and was like, yeah, we had, you know, I think I had it, me and my family. And him having as much money and just being who he is, more than likely he got the test. So if he got tested, then he probably tested positive and he recovered from it. But what about everybody that didn't get tested, but had the same shit, same symptoms, felt the same way? Even people I see on the internet coming on like, yo, I think I had it. You think that you had it? In other words, I think I had it because I didn't get tested, but this is what happened to me. I had fever, my chest felt heavy as a motherfucker, all type of shit happening, right? Watch how many more videos come. Watch how many videos come up with people describing symptoms who never got tested. So like I said, I'm going to assume everybody had it. And that's why the mask and social distances is slowing down the spread again, because it's going to slow down the resurgence of it. It ain't slowing you. It's not keeping you from getting it. I think you had it already. This is just my opinion. I think you already had it. If you've done anything outside and you've gone anywhere around people, I believe that you probably had it already. Now, whether you showed symptoms or not, that's a different story. But I think you've had it. Like everybody. So now you wearing the mask and you protecting yourself and others is so that you don't get it again. Because look at how much time has gone by. They say it's a 14-day window for you to have it and for it to go through your system or whatever. So people could have fucking got that shit 2 or 3 times during that time. We talking about from October to March. How many months is that? October, November, December, January, February, March. That's 5 months right there. How many 14-day periods is in a 5-month period? It's a few remaining, right? 1 month is damn near, well, yeah, it's about 2 14-day periods in a month. So 5 months, that's 10. That means you could have had 10 blocks of time to catch it and it go through your system and all that. And if you were asymptomatic, you didn't even notice you had it. Am I, like, does that make sense? You had 10 blocks of time where you could have caught it and it could have went through your system, whether you knew it or not. So let's assume that you did catch it. What if during the 1 block it was early? What if you had it in November, December? Got over it, then January, February comes, we still ain't have the shutdown until March. January, February comes, who say you ain't get it again? Maybe you got it again. Maybe you overcame it again. March comes, shutdown. Now everybody, social distance, businesses closed, nobody's around really moving around like they was moving. International flights are shut down. All of this shit happens. All right, so now actually you get an opportunity for the virus to go through people's system, and if people stay away from each other, we won't keep spreading it. That's where that idea came from. It's like, well, why you're just talking about social distance out of nowhere? Like, why you're not testing everybody? They don't have what it takes to test everybody. So the only other solution is to keep everybody away from everybody. Stay away. Not stay away because you might catch it. Stay away because you might spread it. You got it. In other words, they're telling you, we think all your motherfuckers got it. All right? Everybody stay away from everybody, okay? Stop the spread. Come on, man. Just think about it. Listen to the word that they're using, spread. You only spread something you got. Hello? You spread something you have. Am I making sense? But you gotta excuse me. This is just how my brain works. That's just how my brain works. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah. Yep. Oh, Grant Cardone, he said he had it too? I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Listen, I think what I'm saying is valid as hell. Just use your common sense. How can everybody not have been exposed? You talking about some shit that started in China. We across the water. Africa. Well, actually, Africa's connected to that body of land. But we're across the water. North America, Canada, South America, separated from Europe and the other continents by water. That means the only way it could have got here was on a plane. So you telling me the whole fucking country is infected? It's cases everywhere? U.S. becomes the number one place where the shit is. How that happen? Our numbers is bigger than China's. And the shit started there. How? I'm like, shit don't add up. Come on, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look, right. Everybody moving state to state, driving across country. This shit been moving. And it's so crazy because I remember saying this on a live not too long ago. And as I'm thinking more and more about it, I'm like, yo, everybody had this shit. How could you not? If you was doing anything outside for the past 5 months, 6 months, you've been exposed to this shit. Period. It is not possible, in my opinion, for you to have been alive and not been exposed to it. Period. We just ain't know. You just didn't know. And like I said, 5 months, 6 months, that's a long ass time. And you talking about this shit got an incubation period of 14 days. How many 14-day blocks of time is there within 6 months? That's like 10, 11, 12 blocks of 14-day windows. Meaning you could have caught the shit 2 or 3 times, 4 times. Who's to say that somebody that ended up dying from it didn't catch it 3 times? What if the first 2 times they just thought they had the flu, then they caught it again, and the 3rd time took them out? Who's to say that that's not the case? Come on, man. I like see this is why I thank God for a brain. Because when you think about shit, you like, yo, that actually makes sense. Yeah. It does make sense, don't it? Look at the because shit that they just tell you, it doesn't make sense. That shit don't make sense. I'm not gonna just take what you telling me and be like, oh, that's it. Oh, okay. Well, first you was telling us, oh, nah, it's just in China. What? Oh, nah, Italy got it too. Huh? Oh, fuck, it's in Spain too. Wait, hold up. Wait. Huh? This is what happened. Remember? It just kept slowly. It was then you kept hearing a new country. Then it was Iran. Kept going. Like, oh shit, that shit is heavy in Europe. In the meantime, the shit is everywhere though. Meantime, people still flying back and forth all over the place. Come on, man. So they bet on everybody being stupid so that they can just they attach an agenda to whatever it is that's going on. Now, it just happens to be COVID-19 this time. But the way that this shit is actually a real thing, though. It's not some fabricated, made up thing. It's a real thing that's fucking people up. But it's like, use your logic to make sense out of what actually is happening. That's why I ain't wait for them to tell me shit before I put a mask on. I've been had a mask on. I ain't wait for them to tell me that. I ain't wait for them to tell me, oh, you should, social distancing. I do social distancing every day. That's normal. That's regular shit. I ain't wait for them to close the school before I took my kids out of school. I'm like, no, this shit don't make sense. Why are they still going to school? You just said that the shit is spreading and you still got the schools open. Like, what the fuck? Kids is nasty as a motherfucker. You still got the school open? No. My kids are staying home. It's crazy. Shawnee said everyone had it already, more than likely. If you got through it, you're fine. That means you built for it. He said, let's open America back up. Oh, shit. Yo, Shawnee, that's some gangster shit right there. Yeah, I know, Stacy. Rant Man's here. Rant Man decided to pop up today. Yep, Rant Man is a sailor. Rich said, now they saying the testing started here in the U.S. and Fauci, after being told it's too dangerous and had no beneficial reason to be perused, still licensed the testing to China. It's amazing what comes out, huh? This was a good conversation too that we had. Anthony said he was thinking Africa has fewer cases because it's real hot there. It's being said that the virus can't survive heat. Now, all that being said, the virus cannot survive heat outside the body. Outside the body. It's a virus that's spread person to person. So no matter how hot it is, if somebody is infected with a virus, even in the summertime, it could be summertime, 90-degree heat. Somebody sneeze in your direction, you can catch what they got. You get a cold in the summer. You ever had a cold in the summer? I've had colds in the summertime in my life. So person to person still goes on. It's killing whatever's outside. But if you go indoor and you touching shit and then somebody else touches the same shit you was touching with something as contagious as this, you gonna catch it. I don't care if you in Africa. I don't care if you in hell. You can be in hell with the flames and all that. That virus, if you sneeze and somebody else is there, they gonna catch it. It can hit your eyeball. It can, come on. Right. The virus like, oh, there's some trees over there. Let's go rock over there. We're gonna, we'll be able to survive for 2 days over there in the shade. Spit travel, you spit in somebody's eye by accident. Come on, man. Yo, it's real. I seen people walking around with a full-blown, they look like they about to do soldering. Like, how somebody does, what is that what it's called? When they doing iron work and they got a whole mask on? I've seen people walking around like that. And I'm like, damn, you ain't getting infected by nothing, huh? Yep. They're being taught on Zoom in Baltimore. Most people don't know for a long time Baltimore would receive extra funding money for teaching 23-year-old ninth graders education in Baltimore. It's bad. Yeah, welder. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, looking like a welder. I mean, see, like certain behavior keeps viral activity down, period. Like good hygiene. That does keep virus and infection down. It absolutely does. So we need that, period. You need more of that. You need more sanitization, hand sanitizing stations all over the place. You need that because people are nasty. You do need that. At the same time, you need people also to continue with distancing. Like just stay over there, relax, stay away. For the simple fact that if somebody is contagious and they coughing and sneezing, that shit is going. It's moving. Somebody sneeze. As soon as I hear somebody sneeze, I don't even want to be there no more. They could be on the other side of the room. I'm like, nah, I don't want to be in there. Because I know what a sneeze does. You mess around and you catch the flu from a sneeze. If you in the wrong area, yes, you will catch that shit. This shit happens all the time. People go to work sick. How you think people be getting sick at work like during flu season? It's because somebody got the flu and they went to work. Like you got a whole bunch of tissue. You got a tissue bag. You coughing and sneezing. You sneezing and sneezing and more sneezing, and you at work. You need to be home, but you at work because you can't afford to not come to work. So you bringing that shit to work, and you making other people sick at work. This is a regular thing. So it's just it's certain behaviors that I think have to be stopped, and have to be recognized that it actually goes on. She said scuba diving helmets. Oh snap. He said we need the Men of Honor Master Diver headpiece. Oh gosh. Men of Honor was a good movie too with Cuba Gooding Jr. and Robert De Niro. Very good movie. I think he deserved the Oscar for that movie. That's how good it was. Yeah, that too. That too. Yep. Germ-filled hands, touching everything, and then shaking your hand. Hey, what's up? That's why I don't like shaking people's hands. That's a fact. Yep. 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 Hassan hit it on the head. He said, even with all that we know, people still don't wash their damn hands. You're right. Yep. Jay Carly says she's gonna end up with agoraphobia. Was already halfway there. Shit. I'm all the way there. I don't be wanting to be near nobody, for real. "72-year-old man was beat up by young girls on a city bus in Baltimore for continuously coughing." That's a good one, Rich. He said, what's the numbers on those that have contracted it after quarantining at home, but they ain't clean their damn house? You ain't do no laundry, right? You ain't disinfecting nothing. You just living. I don't even want to think about it, man. Just the thought of it, it makes you, it almost will depress you if you think about it too much. Because you just be like, yo, there's just no controlling none of this at all. It's just crazy. The shit is crazy. Like I already know, like I already decided in my head, I'm like, this mask ain't coming off until I'm like 50. My 50th birthday, I take my mask off. Shit is crazy. Like, damn, Mark, you've been wearing a mask for about 10 years. I know. She said, burn them sheets. Oh, man. Rich said, let's hope they catch it on their knuckles. Right, for beating up that old man. They wrong for that. They are wrong for that. I mean, like, one thing that I've seen is people still on the train and on the bus with no mask. I don't understand that at all. I don't get that. Come on, man. Come on. Yeah, just right. It's new fashion. That's it. I'll be like, officer, you pulling over the wrong one. Be like, you want my ID? Yeah, I ain't think so. You be like, driver's license registration, please. I'll be like, give me 1 second. Phew. Yeah, Cuomo's doing that here too. Definitely. I mean, yeah, they should definitely reinforce that. You got to wear a mask, man. You got to wear a mask. Like, come on. And like I was saying earlier, again, it's not so that you don't get sick. It's so you don't get nobody else sick. Because if you a nasty ass, more than likely you still got it. Just home doing all type of nastiness in the house. Like, all you doing is being nasty in the house now, instead of being nasty outside. Self-quarantining. You need to do some self-washing up. Oh, that's another thing too. You know about like all the stuff running out? Like everything that runs out and all that? You don't got that issue in the hood. Nothing runs out in the hood. Like, what you need toilet tissue? Hood always had toilet tissue and paper towels. Whatever you need, it's in the hood. I be seeing people standing online like at pharmacies and shit like that. And it don't be no lines in the hood. In and out. Only for the people that don't know, like, the spots to go to. But it's certain places I know to go to where it's never a line. It don't even hardly be nobody in there. People just in and out. Get they shit and leave. In and out. Yeah, there you go. Hood always got my back. Oh, man. He said, man was walking down the street, face wrapped, looking like something out of Mortal Kombat. Yep. The dude with the snake in his hand. Come here. Looking like that dude. Shahara said they were some of the last people in Philly to go in the house. Yep. Oh, BJ got toilet paper again now too? Mm-hmm. Looking like a ninja, yep. People in our hood's not social distancing, so I can't partake. I feel you. Chris said when it starts hitting the rice pools, dairy, and wheat farmers, not to mention anywhere that supplies water, we in trouble. They'll be the last to go in the house, assuming that they ever do. Yeah, you already know how that goes. Some dudes they ain't never going in the house. They still be outside playing music, smoking. Yeah, they doing too much. So they still out. They still playing ball. Bugging. She said, "I'm gonna need that COVID-19 negative paperwork before any dates." Oh snap! Rich said they beating people in Jamaica who stay out past the curfew. Wow. I saw that. So I saw that in a country where people were going into the church to pray, and it was I don't know if it was like police officers, but somebody was outside beating them with a stick when they was coming out, like tearing their legs up and their arms and their back, beating the shit out of people coming out of the church. It's like, yo, y'all are not social distancing. You better pray in the house. In Baltimore, bread manufacturers send bread up north because they get more money for the same loaf. God told me that worked at a bread warehouse for a long time. It was hard to find bread in Baltimore. Baltimore sound kind of ill from everything that I'm hearing about it, that you keep talking about. Seven years in prison? Whoa. Well, you know ain't none of them coming out the house. They're like, all right, well, I'll be ordering online. You're scared to come out the house, period. Yeah, I'm looking at the euro. It's not doing shit yet. It's not doing anything. So actually I'm curious to know, because I'm not sure what the exact information has been yet, but did they give a timeline for when they're saying that they're going to be reopening things? Because I'm not hearing them actually say when. They keep just saying months. Like I heard June, I heard May. I think I heard beginning of May for some places. Then one of the last things that Trump said was that he leaving it up to the governors to decide when. So in other words, you'll figure it out. He's like, yeah, look, y'all do it, and good luck. In so many words. Oh, matter of fact, let me charge this phone too before I forget. You know what? That thing ain't even charging. Oh, yes, it is. It's fully charged. Nice. Nice. That phone is fully charged. Uh, duh, 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 duh. They keep extending it. Kansas on until May 1st. May 1st, right around the corner. That's like less than 2 weeks now. Today's the 20th. Virginia's June 10th. No timeline. Schools here closed for the school year. Yeah, same thing here. Yeah, Trump. Yeah, he definitely like, look, y'all figure that shit out. So that way I don't gotta be worried about nothing. It's like, it's on you, kid. June they're saying in the UK, but I'm not sure how they got their answers when we can't even get the right numbers of COVID-related deaths. Right, right. You know why Trump is funny? Because like what you saying, Jamal, that he can't give that order. He said he can. He said I'm the fucking boss. I'd tell y'all when to go back. That was the first thing he said. He's a funny dude because he says that and then he says, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm issuing a mandate that you guys are in charge. In other words, he's saying I'm giving y'all permission to do it yourself. Mind you, he didn't have the authority to do that in the first place, but he made it seem like he did. He is a piece of work. He's a he's a funny dude. Yeah, it's how he says shit. That's right. Yep. Article that they open up beaches in Florida. Wow. That ain't the smartest thing. Rich said he should be working with them. He's so separate and selfish. Sounds bad, but I'd love for him to catch a little dosage. Ah, that is hard right there. Damn. Yeah, definitely ain't going nowhere. Like, I don't give a shit when they open it up. Like, y'all open that up. Yeah. I'm giving you permission to tell you to carry on doing what you've been doing. Yo, he's ill for that. Yo, I'm telling you, Trump is a fucking genius. Like, he's a genius. He one of them geniuses that's like, he's mad. He's like a mad genius. Because he knows what he's doing. He understands people's psychology, man. He know how to fuck with you. He know how to fuck with you, man. He get all up in your head. Yeah, definitely playing to his ignorant base. His ignorant base is big. Got to keep false hope alive. Yo. Jamal, I'm sure it'll keep changing back and forth until New York slows down. At 2024. Mm-hmm. Rich hit it on the head. He said it's here to stay mentally for a hot minute, even if they say it's going physically. Yep. Yep. He don't need to make sense for those who don't seek it. Some people ain't interested in common sense. You right about that one. Trump is a charlatan. He'll fuck with weak minds and bend them into stupidity. Trump fans are ones protesting, saying that social distance is communism. I saw somebody with a sign. The shit said, "Give me liberty, or give me COVID-19." It's all type of ignorance in this world. Stupid. Stupid. Anthony said, I thought this would clear up enough to travel by Memorial Day because people start traveling and moving to other places. People have timeshares and vacations to go on. No beach time. Man. Yep. Yep. Yeah, Jay Carly definitely did have a whole plan tripped out. Whole trip planned out, excuse me. Yeah, they must just want COVID. And it's like, okay. Like, well, we ain't gonna give you liberty. So here you go. Careful what you wish for, idiot. And that's true. Rich said no need for liberty to be given when you've taken it. Yep. Paley said, fuck liberty. Liberty if I'm getting that. It's just like, that's just a stupid statement. Yeah, KRS-One. Knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everything. Yep. For those who didn't know that was an acronym. That's what KRS-One stands for. Absolutely. I forgot what I was about to do. What was I about to do? Oh, okay. All right, that's one there. Okay. Ernest has seen a lot of people talking about stimulus money is free. No, it's not. That's an advance on your 2020 taxes. It's so ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. Just the whole thought process behind like the way that people even think about certain things. Shawnee, will the government give people of this country $2K a month for the foreseeable future, you think, or do we open up America? Well, you already know the answer to that. And the thing about it is that even with them reopening, businesses right away are not just going right back. You know, I believe that businesses will overall do things um, with precaution. You know, they probably, depending on the size of the corporations that start back open, certain places automatically gonna get it by default. They're gonna have some type of process in place where before you come back to work, like this would have to be the case for retail and for restaurants and bars and shit like that. Before you come back to work, you're gonna have to be tested. So in order for them to reopen, they're gonna have to provide them with tests or testing capability. You're not gonna have certain corporations put their employees and their customers at risk because they don't want to be associated with that type of backlash with their brand. They're not that thirsty where they give a fuck about reopening more than they care about people actually being safe in their work environment. Don't get it twisted. They're not doing that. They're not. You think Louis Vuitton and fucking Gucci and all of these brands with these big stores all over the place is gonna reopen their stores and not have all of that in place? They're not doing that shit. They're not doing that. Even places like department stores, they're not doing that. Nordstrom ain't doing that. Like, just think about it for a second. Nordstrom is not going to just reopen like, all right, we open again. No, bruh. All of our employees have been tested. We still are implementing safety precautions. You know, don't be alarmed to if you see our employees with face masks. Like, don't be surprised if these places reopen and people walking around with a mask on. Don't be surprised by that. Because you're not going to reopen the economy and the shit goes back to what it was. You're not doing that. If you worked at a department store, let's just use any one of you, for example. If you work somewhere, you going back to work, test or no. Oh, I tested negative. All right, cool. But I still ain't going to be in this motherfucker without a mask on. I'm not coming to work with no mask. Are you going back to work? Just back to normal? Are you doing that? So come on, man. Like again, let's think logically. Are people actually going to do that? No, they're not. I don't give a shit how much money you are not making by being out of work. People will sit their ass on unemployment before they go back to a job and actually be afraid to catch a fucking virus and get sick. Like, what we talking about? I don't give a shit who you are. How do most people think? You want to get sick or you want to do this over here? I know you ain't got no money over here and bills is tight and this and that about you on unemployment, but you ain't getting sick over here. But over here you get sick though. You can go back to work, but you come back to work at your own risk. I'm not going back to work. I don't give a fuck about work. What we talking about? So it's not just one perspective. You gotta you have to think about everything. Well, how do employees feel about it? Is everybody gonna just go back to work? Like, what you gonna do? So Adele said it's an advance on that Social Security you'll never see. You got your 1,200, cool. Now you're $1,200 in the hole for 2020. False hope. Same way that we get any money from your income. Damon, people nowadays are too lazy to research. They're strictly emotional and willfully ignorant. Dangerous combination. She said they researched on Facebook. Shahara, thank you, Mark. Same things I've been saying. You can't have a point of sale or service worker job and not be tested prior to starting back at work. No, hell no. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, nah. You talking about, oh, the economy's back. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Like, what you talking about? No. I ain't going back nowhere. I'm just not going back. No. No, man. So if you got the employees thinking like that, you better do something. You're going to have to do something. Government. You're talking about you're opening the economy, but y'all don't have enough tests. Somebody can't just get a test right now. But you talking about reopening stores? Fuck out of here. Come on, man. Like, come on. It's just stupid. Jamal, all I know is America is an organized pimp. You work so that they can get the majority of the money. Adele, or they'll go ahead and implement self-checkout. Some places are not doing that. Louis is not implementing self-checkout. Gucci, no. No, they're not doing that. And I'm just naming them brands, because those are familiar, popular brands that are more expensive. They're not doing that. They ain't even doing that shit at Macy's. They ain't gonna let you self-check out at Macy's or JCPenney. Nah. Nope. They ain't gonna do that. Ben said viruses take years to die off. Some viruses never die off. The cold, influenza don't die. It settles down and then it mutates into another strain and then it comes back. Does that on repeat. But it's controllable. And it's not something that is widespread the way that this shit is. This shit is contagious as a motherfucker. Jamal, you can lead the pimp if you join TA, only $35. Facts. He said, please see the link in the description. Oh, man. Damon, you hit it on the head. Oh, man. Yeah, it is. Ben says situation is serious. It really is. But there's so many different perspectives of it though. It's like it's not a situation where you just snap your fingers and then shit happens. Whatever happens is going to be a gradual. It has to be gradual and thought out. And in businesses, they're not leaving everything up to the government to think everything through and to think everything out. Businesses implement their own policies based on the safety of their workforce. They got to protect their workers. They may not be paying you a lot of money, but they don't want nothing to happen to you. If something happens to you, what does that do to the business? It devastates the business. So they have to be concerned about your well-being from the level that they can control. You understand? If they don't have a certain level of control, they're not going to open. Right now, there are some stores that just ain't open, period. Like online or nothing. You can't buy online. You can't do nothing. Marshalls, Home Goods, TJ Maxx. There's another one, Home something, whatever. It's about 8 different stores connected to the company that I'm referring to. The company I'm talking about owns TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Marshalls. They own all them stores. None of them stores are open. Not only that, even their distribution centers are closed. So like, you know how you can buy stuff online from Target or JCPenney, Macy's, you can still buy online. You can't buy online from these stores that I just talked about. So they completely shut their business off because they are that concerned about the employees. Even in their distribution centers, they cut it off. They're like, we don't even want that open. We shutting that down too. Mind you, the distribution center is a warehouse where stuff moves out the warehouse and goes to wherever it's going, whether it be to stores or whether it be to, going to somebody's house or to a place to deliver to your house or whatever. They cut that off too. They're like, we don't want none of our employees getting sick at all. They cut it completely off. So you see that some businesses and some management, they're willing to take whatever measures need to be taken to protect their workforce. That's a good version of it right there, a good example to use. Because then you got, like Amazon. Now, people have tested positive for COVID that work there in the distribution center. It's people sick, but it's not like it's a store. So they're not coming in contact with the public from that perspective, but they are still delivering packages. You understand what I'm saying? And then you're hearing about, oh, well, this actually can live on a cardboard box for X amount of time. So if you got people at the distribution center who are sick, then that means that it can be spreading onto packages that they're delivering, which means it can be actually continuing to spread. How do you deal with that? Amazon didn't shut down. Amazon's still delivering packages every day because because stuff still has to move. So it's like they find a different way to deal with it. All right, y'all been tested and y'all are sick. Y'all got to stay home. Now, if they've been tested, did they test everybody that works in the distribution center? Did they all get a test? Did you test all your drivers? What happened? Now, mind you, we talking about now. We ain't even talking about after shit reopens. We're talking about right now. So are there tests available for these essential businesses that are still moving packages and have employees still moving around and doing stuff? Do you have a test for Uber drivers? People that are delivering Uber Eats, have they been tested? This is now. I ain't talking about later. I'm talking about now. Do you have the resources for all of them to be tested so that you can at least feel like, well, you know what? Let's just test people that's moving around right now before we talk about reopening anything. Let's not even go there yet. Let's just see, are these people that's delivering these packages, are they in the clear? Why don't you put that into place first? Wouldn't that make more sense? That's something that's happening right now. Wouldn't that make more sense? You understand what I'm saying? Again, just things to think about. Like, this is always going to be food for thought. I'm like, have y'all thought about that, though? They come in contact with people every single day delivering packages. How many of them got tested? Yeah, they got masks and gloves on, but are they virus free? Do you even know that? Telling you, man. Telling you. Ben said today there were over 20,000 new infections in New York City alone. There were 20,000 new documented infections. In other words, people that got tested and they positive. Again, this whole live stream, we've been talking about the same thing. I believe that everybody has had it or has it right now. Unless you've been staying away from everybody for real and you've been practicing social distancing, the likelihood of you having it is high. People are still moving around. Now, people have been still moving around since the quarantine. We just talked about people riding a train without a mask on. So you see all of these cases for new infections coming up. Again, you can't even trace back, well, when did they get infected? How did they get infected? You don't know. All they're doing is testing people that are coming into the system, the medical system. Either you going through a testing center and getting the test, and I don't even know how they're doing that, because if you call up to get a test, you can't even get one. So I don't even know who's getting tests. Like, who are they testing? Where are these people coming from? Because they damn sure not coming from people that I know that called up to get a test. Like I know people that have called up several times to get a test, just to get tested. Not that they feel like they have it or anything. They just want the test. Can't get a test. In New York, literally, you can't get a test. So I'm like, well, who's getting these tests? Where are these numbers coming from? Who did your test? How did they get a test? How did they end up getting a test? They didn't go into an ER and get one. They didn't go into the hospital and get one, because they sending people back home. They got some kind of hotline that you can call up. And I know that they do testing through these centers. They got these designated areas. Like, Ben, I know that they got the one in White Plains. But I'm like, but how do people actually get a chance to get tested at that facility? How do you get a test? Where are these numbers coming from? Telling you, man. Like where the numbers coming from? Yeah, they saying all of these people are new infections, and then of course the numbers also that follow that are going to be hospitalizations, ICU, and then deaths. So they're looking at the information as it comes available, but the logistics for how someone gets tested to begin with, we still don't know how that even works. You don't even know how somebody ended up being able to get a test. Like, how does that person get tested and they may not even have symptoms, but this person got the symptoms and you sent them home? What was that? This is what's happening right now. Somebody come in the hospital or into urgent care coughing and sneezing and doing all type of shit, and they're not testing them. Well, just go home and, just quarantine in the house. Huh? He's coughing, sneezing, and he's complaining about his chest, and you send him back home. Oh, well, right now we're only dealing with this right here. Your case is like, they got a scale. They measure, I guess, according to the scale, how sick you are, and if you are high on the scale, then they'll test you. But what the fuck is high on the scale? What is that? You got to be like damn near keeling over, out of breath, like you're gonna pass out. You got to be like that, because there's definitely people that are sick that go to get tested that get sent home. I know this for a fact because I know people that have been sent home with symptoms. So again, my question is, well, how are you testing these people? Who got tested? Where did they get tested? Who? It's crazy, man. Yeah, it is. Hell yeah. 500 people dying from a virus in any city is crazy. Absolutely. I mean, in regards of how they got got to the number, whether people were actually infected with that or not. Just 500 people dying, and you tracking that all of these people are dying on a daily basis as a result of either complications from a virus or otherwise. Because you don't know if somebody with a complication might have the virus, but maybe they didn't even get tested for it. They just ended up in the hospital. There's plenty of people ended up on a ventilator that didn't get tested for the virus at all. Shit is crazy. They don't want nothing traced back to them. You know that. Did it really come from patient zero who ate a bat? She said, why are they allowed to eat bats and cats and dogs? Sick and ridiculous. Man. J. Carly said, Mark, thinking about this, I was sick for months, so literally I haven't been really anywhere since my performance on December 27th, and I get groceries delivered. Only been around 2 friends and then my family. I'm telling you, Jay, like the more that you think about it, the scarier it becomes, because it's like, oh shit. Like I had my first oh shit moment that first day when we was on a live talking about how far back they knew about the virus. Remember that day? And I was like, wait, you had mad like gatherings where it was millions of people all in one spot at one time. The New Year's alone, the New Year's celebration in Times Square in Manhattan alone, that shit had close to 2 million people in New Year's. That was on January 1st. Like, what are we talking about? So you telling me that you had a virus out since before that? And these 2 million people are a mixed people that's from New York, people from out of state, from other countries, from the other side of the country, from down south, from up north, from Midwest. Everybody come to Times Square for that fucking New Year's shit. And then go back to wherever they came from. What are we talking about? So when I thought about that, I was like, wait, hold up. This shit is crazy. So the day it hit me, I'm like, wait, I think everybody had this shit. How could everybody not have been exposed to this shit by now? How? If you was doing anything from October to March, you've been exposed. I don't care. You went to work, school, store, grocery store, department store, restaurant. You was at a bar. You went to a game. Where have you not gone? You went somewhere. And wherever you went, you ain't have no gloves or a mask on. You wasn't rocking gloves and masks. You've been exposed. So where does that leave us now? Scary thought, man. Scary when you look at it like that, because you're like, oh shit. If that shit can travel across the water on a plane, and millions of people take flights every day, back and forth, all over the place, not just in and out of the US, everywhere. Touching down everywhere. Flights, people driving back and forth. Come on, man. The 30-year-old girl that I know that passed, she fake died. And my friend's dad is still on the ventilator. He's faking it. Nah, that shit is real, man. The shit is real. Jay Carly said, group I'm in, one of the girls' husbands and daughter have it. They were sent home. She's had to call the ambulance 3 times because he can't breathe, and they still ain't taking him to ICU. Shit is crazy. Ernest said, this saga just revealed that we ain't that badass of a country after all. Shit has us down on our knees. It got everybody down. The U.S. in particular looking crazy because the U.S. is the mighty, mighty U.S. Like nothing can ever happen here. But I don't know why people think that shit. Why would you think that nothing can't happen here when there's people here? Wherever there's people, shit happens. It's no immunity to shit happening to you. That's one thing I don't like about the arrogance of, I don't even know what you want to call it, because I'm not a part of that mindset. Like I'm not a part of the U.S. superiority mindset. I'm not in that. I'm not for that shit at all. I feel that we're blessed to be here. Yes, absolutely. Especially during the time that we're here. Because for my ancestors, it wasn't like this, like it is for us now. What the shit that they did was to give us the opportunities that we have now. And I don't take that for granted ever. And that's how I look at it. We got opportunity because of what they were willing to do. They knew that they wasn't going to have the chance to do shit. But they did certain things so that we would. Sacrifice all day. So I'm a part of that. I'm a part of what my ancestors did. I'm not affiliated with the way that the U.S. thinks. That's not my mentality at all. I don't have that arrogant bullshit that, they have in the United States. Feeling that they better than everybody else and immune to this and we're superior. Fuck that. What are you talking about? The U.S. is what it is primarily because of a lot of blood that the U.S. shed. But we ain't gonna go into that. We won't go there, including our blood. That's why sometimes, like, I have conversations with people because people don't know the history of, like, black people in America. They don't know, like, our history. And then when they find out, they're like, oh, shit, that's fucked up. Yeah. You think? So, it's like it's important to educate yourself about a culture and a group before you just make assumptions and create stereotypes. That's one thing I always talk to people about. Like, don't just assume that shit is something that it ain't and you don't know what it really is. Like, you need to actually get your facts straight before you make a comment or say something slick just based on stereotypes and bullshit. Don't ever do that. Don't do that. But yeah, believe it or not, I'm telling you, a lot of people don't know the history of America. Definitely don't know the history of black people in America. We got a long ass history here. Ernest said he got a cousin in Taiwan. They nipped that shit in the bud and never had to shut down. Yeah, see, and Taiwan is interesting too because Taiwan is near China. But they knew about it, and as soon as they did, they already had measures in place. They got a lot of technology associated with it too, because they have these scanners where they scan like your body temperature. So like if you had a temperature, they wouldn't even let you into a building. And they had already implemented gloves and masks and all that. People was already doing that. Excuse me. So I think that what they did was they prevented the spread by having people be proactive. And all of the measures that they took beforehand prevented it from spreading like that there. So it didn't touch them the same way. They had cases, but it's nowhere near what it is in so many other places that was just totally unprepared. And again, that the arrogance of the U.S. has a lot to do with the way that it's spread here. It's very arrogant because it's like, where's your common sense? If you're dealing with something that spreads the way that it does, that the way that you know that it spreads, don't you think that shit will get here quick? Look at how people travel and how they move around. So when it gets here, then people be moving around and doing shit all the time. People come here and don't sit still. Nobody comes here and just chills. People come here and they travel all the time. You don't think that shit's gonna move? Yes, it's gonna move. And that's exactly what happened. And of course, you're gonna see it penetrate the most dense areas first. That's why New York is so heavy with it. New York, how many millions of people is in New York City alone? Just in the city. We talking about 8 to 10 million people. In the state of New York is 23. And motherfuckers move around and don't just sit down. People moving around all day, every day. Come on, man. Why would the count and the numbers not be high there? Of course they would. Wait, let me read what the question was again. The question was how early? Okay, so how early is too early? And the answer is any early. That's my answer. Any early is too damn early. So you saying yes to what though? Because it wasn't a yes or no question. The question was how early is too early. So the earliest that I'm hearing, I know. She's like, I'm still saying yes. It's just yes to whatever. So what was I about to say? Dang, I forgot the hell I was about to say. What the hell was I just about to say? Oh, the earliest dates that I've heard so far were May 1st. Was May 1st one of the dates? That's ridiculous. Because May 1st is like 2 weeks from now. Another one was June. So again, how early is too early? Like what if the date that they gave was in July? Do you think that would still be too early? You think July would still be too early? Is July still too early? So that's my next question. And then, well, actually, I'm gonna use that as a topic for tomorrow. My spin-off question I'll use for tomorrow's topic. Okay. So Jay said, I think that it should be the entire summer. Let's see how it goes in opening phases. Ben said May 1st, 2025. That's funny. Liam says never. Well, I don't agree with that, but I just what I believe is that there's certain things that have to take place before you implement any type of reopening of any parts or any stores, anything. It's just certain things that have to take place. And see now, Adele, you're getting into my next topics for the next couple of days. So you hold that thought. Hold that thought. Joe Madison Black? Okay. Oh, excuse me. Interesting. So Adele said, unfortunately, Americans can't play the long game. Jay Carly said they're going to have to get jobs at all the places that are hiring thousands of people because they need more help due to the demand of the current situation. AKA, when I lose a job, I get another one. This can't be different. You hit it right on the head. If you think about all of the jobs that have gone away up to now, when were these jobs created? See, I got so many topics, it's crazy. I got so many topics, it's retarded. Because that's another good topic. These 20 plus million jobs, and you know it's more than that. It's probably closer to 30 to 40 million. But when were these jobs created? We've had a very good economy booming for years. And they've been talking about recession for how long now? And again, the recession ain't coming and it's here already. It's still people talking about, oh yeah, the coming recession. Coming? Like, you've been under a rock? Come on, man. Tracy said, yeah, there are jobs that are hiring now. Some people will have to change careers. Indeed. Yep. Fact is, a lot of people don't want to find another job. They want to go back to what they were doing before. Indeed. Jamal said, any country that builds its economy on the back of slavery, God will judge. Jay Carly said, or put new cleaning practices on certain jobs like barbers and hairdressers. Actually, most barbers and hairdressers are clean already, though. I must say, they do a pretty good job of being like practicing good hygiene. I must say that. At least the ones that I be around. Baltimore desperately need bus drivers, but sometimes they get assaulted by passengers. Lots of driver positions open. Interesting. I'm wondering, so in Baltimore, why would you say that there's lots of new bus driver positions open? Like, why? Why is there a surge in that? Is it because there are a lot of buses now that are providing transportation? Like, is there a surge in people taking the bus now? What happened? Because jobs become available when demand becomes available. Paley said there are plenty of jobs, just no experience for them. Jay Carly, everyone has their own karmic lessons, but humanity has its own karmic lessons that we have to learn together. Micro and macro. Ernest said most barbershops are crazy. Jay Carly, I wish we could have learned these lessons by an alien invasion instead. That's some real random shit right there. Oh, man. Oh my goodness. We saw Independence Day. We know what to do. Independence Day is my movie too. It's my shit right there. Adele, piss or get off the pot, adapt or get slapped. Ain't that always? Mm-hmm. I know one thing. I know we playing again. Did you just see that? YouTube cut my shit as soon as I said I know one thing. Like they knew I was about to say some hard shit. But anyway, what I was gonna say is I know one thing, that this is a game of chess. And you better not come to the chessboard with checkers. Ooh, you know I gotta write that down. Hold on. Don't come to the chessboard with checkers. Hold on. And I already know Jay Carly took it already, so no need to say it. She already got that shit on Instagram already. Yeah, it came out better just now though for some reason, and I didn't post it yet. I'm gonna post that one though. Ernest said, "Here's how crazy shit is. Oil producers right now paying oil buyers to get oil off their hands. So much supply and zero demand. Mm. Well, no wonder these gas prices so damn low." Adele said, "But you can use the same board for the same game if you want to." They're running out of right. Yeah, they can't store it nowhere. Mm-hmm. J. Carr says, "Part of my vision to end racism. If we're attacked by another life form, then in my unicorn brain, it would end racism because we would have to become one human race. In my unicorn mind, that would work." I love all the people. Oh man. Oh snap. Oh boy, there's the first yawn. Time to go back in the damn house. So I have been observing the market too in the background during this dialogue. Market has not done anything as of yet. And from what I'm seeing, it can go either way when it reopens. But right now, towards the end, it started speeding up a little bit. So, but we'll see what goes on. He said, "I'm waiting for the day when I can fill up my tank and the attendant pays me for it." That's funny. Read an article about allergies causing exhaustion and tiredness. Looked it up after I asked you about it last week. Yeah, I think that definitely I think is true. Yep. And remember, I don't take nothing for my allergies either. Like I don't take anything. I don't take like antihistamines or nothing like that. So I just fight it with with my soldiers. Vitamin C and sleep. Yeah, true. But you know what else got a lot to do with all this sleep though? I hate to say it, but you think I'll be playing about that blanket? I don't know what it is. It's like that blanket has sleep attached to it or something, like in the fibers and shit. Like it's something about that blanket that makes me sleep better. Like I haven't gotten this good sleep. I don't think ever. This is the best sleep I ever got in life. Was ever since I cracked that blanket open. I'm not even exaggerating. And I'm like, what is it about this blanket? What the hell? Like it's possessed by a sleep spirit or some shit. And when I put it on, the spirit takes over my body and just lets me sleep. Cause my typical sleep is I'll sleep anywhere from 3 to 5 hours at the most, like overnight. And then throughout the day, I'll take power naps for like an hour or two. Maybe 2 power naps like throughout the day. What I find myself doing now is I don't really take the power naps. I go to sleep. So I'll be asleep from, like, even if I go to sleep late, let's say I go to sleep like 2 in the morning, I don't wake up until 10. So I'm getting 8 hours of sleep. I've never done that. I've never gotten 8 hours of sleep. I've never did that. I've never done that. Right, I'll be a wave messenger for 5 hours. She said the blanket needs some sage. Stinging nettles, it's all natural and it works. Doctors recommend it for allergies. Okay. Anthony, most people don't realize that working a job in New York City for 10 years, you can retire with a pension, go live in the South where it's affordable. Jobs like police, sanitation, social worker. Yeah, absolutely. Most people know about that, like that are from here. But that got to be something that you want to do. Like the police force, I believe, is 25 years. After 20, well, you get vested after 10, but you can retire with your full pension after 25 years on the police force in New York. So if you're young, I recommend that you do that if you're very young. Like if you like coming out of high school, you 18, 19, go to police academy, become a cop. And by the time you about 43, 44, you retire with full pension and you retire. Like you don't got to wait till 65 or whatever the retirement age is. You be retired in your 40s. I think that that's a good plan for young people that don't know what they want to do. You don't know what you want to do? Just become a cop. And be careful. We had a whole dialogue about the sanitation workers. It's a good job, but you got to be cut from that cloth to be able to handle it. And social workers is, it's a lot of different places where there's need for that, definitely. Adele said, "Don't come here. Don't come to Texas, huh?" Jay Carly said, "You know why I'm not worried? Because I have TA. We have a plan. Our plan will let me take care of me and my family if need be." All facts. All facts. Ernest said, "A cop or USPS." Yeah, Postal Service fell off though. It's not what it used to be. Not what it used to be at all. I talked to a lot of the workers. They overworked. They don't have enough of them, I think, that do the routes, and they be overworked for real. Like you better be prepared to walk for miles every day delivering packages, unless you work indoor. Yeah, Rich. The blanket definitely gets me in the sleep hole. Hell yeah. Sound like a war zone and need hazard pay. Baltimore is worse, I think. I don't know, man. Like another job that's kind of crazy here is MTA. If you work on the MTA, like underground in the subways, a lot of health issues, man. A lot of health issues. The air in the MTA subway system is crazy, especially after 9/11. Shit is crazy. Like, I don't even want to talk about it. All the different stories that have come up as a result of people being on that job and being underneath in them subways for years, having all type of issues. They got a certification for life coach. Ernest, that's because they fucked up their pension plan a few years ago. They had to force people to retire early to offset the fuck up. Oh, you must be talking about the postal service. Yeah, Anthony, keep talking about Baltimore. She said move somewhere slower. Oh man, y'all a trip. All right, so this thing, I had to end up plugging this thing in. This is about to die. All right, y'all, let me get up out of here, man. So I will check y'all out on training. Everybody else, I'll see y'all tomorrow. You'll make sure that you like the video. So some more good topics coming this week. Adele, write that topic down that you mentioned a little while ago, so I remember to bring it up too, because that's a good topic. That's something I definitely want to talk about. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.